to another edition of Cocktails and Mocktails with Randi. Today we're going to be doing an original creation that I made. It's called a Watermelon Mint Spritzer. And so I've pre-cut some watermelon and diced some mint up and let it sort of marinate overnight, but you don't have to let it marinate. I just think it adds a little bit of richness to the watermelon if you let it sit overnight. So what we're going to do first is start by taking some of the cut up watermelon with the mint, add it to a cup. No specific amount. I say maybe, 8 or 9 chunks is good. Something like so. And then what I'm going to do is muddle it. And so muddling is just basically a technique, a fancy word for smashing it down. So I have this fancy muddler that my sister-in-law, who actually, her name is Randi Proffitt. She was named the best bartender in Fort Worth. She moved here from Vegas a few years ago, and not surprisingly, Fort Worth magazine readers named her as the best bartender in Fort Worth. She gave me this fancy muddler, and so I'm going to use that to do the muddling today. Before I had this fancy muddler, I used the end of a wooden spoon or any other flat utensil that you can use to basically smash down the content. So you can muddle mint and many other herbs. Today we're doing watermelon with mint. So basically I'm just going to squish that down. What I'm aiming for here is to just break up all the chunks, so that way when we're drinking the cocktail, we're not getting too many big chunks. Often in other cocktails, you'll end up straining out the contents, but here, because I love watermelon and I like the sort of body that it gives to the spritzer, I'm going to go ahead and leave the watermelon in. So now, as you can see, I've muddled everything in together, and we've got a good amount of watermelon, we've got a good amount of juice, and we've got the mint there mixed in. Now what we're going to do is add in some Prosecco. Any Prosecco you have on hand. This is actually one of my favorite Proseccos. It's called the Asolo Prosecco. It's actually from Costco. It's the Kirkland brand. Great price, great tasting Prosecco for cocktails, mimosas, or drinking on its own. So what we're going to do is add about 3.5 to 4 ounces of Prosecco. Be careful not to pour too quickly because it will overflow your glass. Definitely been guilty of that before. So we're going to add our Prosecco there, and what I like to do is sort of give it a second to the fizzing to calm down, because when you add it to the fruit, it just creates a whole lot of bubbles. So what I'll do is take my bar spoon, or really any spoon, and sort of just stir lightly on top of the foam to get the foam to calm down a bit. And then I'm going to give it a nice stir. Make sure you get all of that watermelon juice integrated with the Prosecco, and voila, you have a watermelon mint spritzer. Super tasty, super refreshing. If the watermelon contents bothers you, you can strain it out, but for me personally, I like the little bite that it gives to the cocktail. So that's the watermelon spritzer. So if you prefer something that doesn't have alcohol, you prefer a mocktail or a virgin cocktail, what I recommend is going through the same process, muddling your watermelon, and then just adding sparkling water. So any sparkling water, I prefer Topo Chico because it has a really high bubble content or carbonation content, or you can add club soda, whatever you have on hand, but I prefer sparkling water. So this is going to be the mocktail version that you can drink during the day, or if you prefer not to consume alcohol, this will be your mocktail. Now, if you'd like to take it up a notch, I prefer with this to add tequila. So here I have Humidor tequila, and what I'd recommend in place of the Prosecco, you're going to muddle your watermelon just like I did before, and then instead of Prosecco, add 1.5 to 2 ounces of tequila, give it a nice swirl, and there you go. It's a little variation. I would call this a very simplified margarita, if you will. It's not technically a margarita, but it does have some of those elements with the tequila, and so I find it very refreshing, nice on a hot summer day. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Cocktails and Mocktails with Randi. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Hey, this is Dana Schultes, executive producer for Stage West Theater. I hope that you enjoyed our programming today. If it is something that you can do, please consider giving a gift anywhere from $1 to $1 million, whatever is comfortable for you. You will be helping to keep Stage West healthy. And don't forget, during 2020, all gifts up to $300 are eligible to be deducted from your taxes. So take advantage. Thank you again for joining us. I hope you have a great day.